everyone. Welcome to Amarie Cards and welcome to the weekly reading for February 23rd through March 1st, 2025. Can you believe it? We are already coming up at the end of February. It's this year is already starting to fly by. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing yet. But of course, that also means this will be the last week that you see this particular deck, the Good Tarot deck, as the weekly reading deck, because of course every month we switch up the decks. So starting next week you will see a brand new deck here for the weekly readings. And again, it's my way of kind of introducing you all to a variety of different decks, so you can get kind of familiar with the different ways that tarot can be expressed and shown. So again, this is our last week doing the Good Tarot as a weekly reading. So we'll be bidding it adieu. But until we do that, let's do our reading for the collective for February 23rd through March 1st. We'll start shuffling. How is everybody doing? How are you feeling about the end of February coming up here? Did it fly by for you guys? It is the shortest month of the year, so it does tend to fly by. But January feels like it flew by as well. So yeah. It feels like the first quarter of this entire year may be flying by. All right, we want to see what's in store for the collective from February 23rd through March 1st, 2025. The cards actually feel different today. I don't know why, but they kind of feel different. February 23rd through March 1st. And let me know, everyone, if you want me to keep in the video the shuffling part, because sometimes the shuffling can take a little bit longer, like it is today. February 23rd through March 1st. Or do you want me to edit this part out, so that you don't have to kind of like sit and just listen to me as I am shuffling? Okay, we got it. Okay, we have a return player. This was there last week and it is back. So whoever the haters are from, okay, now we're starting to, I swear you guys, I am not doing this. It's pulling out the exact same cards from last week. This never happens. We're getting the exact, so we're going to pause for a second and have a quick little tarot lesson. So when you get a situation where you have repeat cards, because first of all, this is extremely rare that this happens. If you get a situation where you're having repeat cards, it usually just means that the lesson from last week is carrying over into the next week. So either the situation has not been resolved yet, or it's just saying, hey, you are maintaining status quo, basically. You're just kind of keeping the same energy. We were kind of joking about it being almost like you maintaining kind of Air Force One energy last week. And this is basically saying, hey, we're going to continue with that same energy this week. This is very rare for this to happen, you guys. This is extremely rare. Okay, we got a different one. So we have the Seven of Air, which corresponds with the Seven of Swords. We have the Ace of Fire, which corresponds with the Ace of Wands. And now we have the Queen of Water, which corresponds with the Queen of Cups. So considering that these first two cards were the exact same card, two of the exact same cards that came out last week, which again, I'm kind of blowing my mind a little bit. This tells me that all that's really changing here is how you're supposed to approach the situation. So last week, there was more of feeling, because I think the third card, if I remember right, was the Sun. So there was very much kind of like, I've done this thing, I accomplished this big thing, I'm getting ready to move on to the next thing. You know, very, you know, boss energy, you know, kind of energy from that. This is taking a slightly different approach to this situation. Now with the Queen of Cups or the Queen of Water, this is a queen of compassion and emotion. She has to sometimes be careful not to get too emotionally involved and wrapped up in a situation. But this is definitely a queen of compassion. So it seems like now you're being asked to kind of change your approach to this situation. That doesn't mean that you bow down to whoever these folks are. That does not mean that you need to abandon any of the ideas and plans that you have. Quite the contrary, if this card is here. But what it is saying is to look at it from a different viewpoint now. Rather than look at it from kind of like the viewpoint last week, which was more like, oh, how dare you stand in my way? You know, kind of thing like, oh, you're nothing. I'm going to continue on my way. Not in kind of like an arrogant way, but in a very self-confident way. This is now kind of asking to show, the word that's coming up is grace, which can be very difficult, especially when you're dealing with people that are in this 7 of air, 7 of swords energy. It can be extremely difficult because I'm getting the feeling that some of you were really last week kind of in the I'm not going to say what I think this is referencing. I think I get the feeling it's referencing something bigger, but I'm not going to say exactly what. But I'm getting the feeling that some folks have very much been in a ha you effed around and you found out kind of mentality, and toward whoever these folks are. And this card is actually asking you to kind of take the high road. Now look, I know some of you probably just gawked at that. Taking the high road in the case of being like the emotionally mature one of the group does not mean you have to settle for whatever the folks here are saying. It does not mean you have to give in. It doesn't mean you have to agree. It doesn't mean you have to abandon your ideas and your passions and what you're doing and comply with whatever they're saying. No, this card is not saying that. It is saying, hey, understand, we're just asking you to understand why this group, this person, these people are coming the way that they are. And that's what we mean by showing grace. It does not mean weakness. It does not mean that you are succumbing. It does not mean that you're letting them off some kind of invisible hook. That's not what it means. It simply means that you're going to be like, I'm going to take the higher road in this. And I know that is very difficult to do. And I know that in this particular energy, a lot of people don't want to do that. But I'm feeling this it's not like this. It's not an urgency. That's not the word. It's not like an urgency of you must do this. It's just this feeling like, if you could please just kind of be the bigger person here. And like, I know you don't want to. I know you want to sit there and like just rub it in their face, or because apparently whatever this was, it must be coming to fruition fairly quickly. And you're really feeling yourself right now. Like, I want to, you know what? Let's clarify. I usually don't do this, but let's clarify this Queen of Water. Let's get some more insight into her real quick. Can we clarify the Queen of Water, please? I don't always do this. I usually don't do this in the weekly readings, but I'm kind of curious as to the vibe of this one over here. Because I'm definitely getting a feeling of, it's not that everyone's being cocky. It's not that you're being arrogant. That's not the feeling I'm getting from this. 'Cause I think a different card would have came out otherwise. I think it's more just like, hey, I know you are really on cloud 10 right now in this little era right here. And I know that you're looking over at these folks, the naysayers, the haters, and you're, or the people who, like I said last week, may actually have your best interest at heart. They just don't understand what it is that you're doing. Rather than, kind of putting your nose up at them. Fortune's Wheel. So the card that's clarifying we got our Major Arcana card. So the card that is clarifying the Queen of Water is Fortune's Wheel. This is also called the Wheel of Fortune, which is card number 10 in the Major Arcana. So we'll be getting to that one in our series really soon. So it's oh, you know what? The phrase that just popped in my head is what goes up must come down. So it's kind of, I don't want to say it's a warning. It's not quite as strong as a warning, but the Wheel of Fortune has to do with literally fortunes turning. So if your fortunes have been really negative, they're about to turn positive. If they've been kind of positive, they might be neutraling or kind of leveling out a bit. But in this case, it's kind of a warning. It's kind of saying, hey, I know that you're kind of on a moral high right now with, with the accomplishments of the Sun card from last week and you kicking off these new sets of things that you're doing and you're super excited about it and everything. But a word of caution of getting too slap happy about sticking it to this other group over here, or not even like ignore it. I'm trying to find the most nuanced way to say this without stepping on any toes of any kind. Just show some semblance of grace. That could be as simple as just ignoring this. It could be as simple as not getting down in the mud with this mentality. It could be as simple as just ignoring. If you notice, I don't think it's a coincidence that she has her head turned away from this person over here. I think it's kind of a ignore it. Don't get down in the mud. Don't sling mud. Don't do any of that. You just keep on focusing on this. And as long as you do that, your fortunes will stay positive because you'll be radiating, positive energy. If you get into the mud with them, if you start trying to go tit for tat, then it could turn your fortunes around. So yeah, everyone, just don't, you're probably going to get tested again from these folks again this week. So if they're popping up again, it's probably because of this, whatever this is. So you're probably going to get tested again this week. Last week you had the previous, accomplishments to kind of bolster you. This week they're saying just don't engage in it. Just keep your head high and, keep love as your main. I don't think it's a coincidence that the major arcana card we're just going over now is the love card or the lover's card. Keep love as the forefront of your main emotion, rather it being hate or spite or arrogance or anything like that. I think that's the clearest I can make this message. All right. So yeah, it's still really interesting that 2 out of the 3 from last week popped back up. That is wild. That is so wild to me. But yeah, that is the reading for this week, February 23rd through March 1st. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me, maybe you can speculate without getting too in detail. Maybe you can speculate in the comments. What do you think this situation is? Do you have ideas on who this person or these persons or these ideas may be that may be still carrying over into the next week, trying to poke holes at your great master plan here or the beginnings of your plan here? And what ways can you keep yourself kind of like centered and in your heart space and hold? You don't even have to necessarily hold space for these folks. It's just a matter of not getting down in the dumps with them so that you can keep your energy high so that your fortunes do not shift due to your energy shifting. All right. Don't let anyone shift your energy this week. You stay right in your space of love and peace. If that means you got to go for a walk, got to go meditate a bit, got to, get away from whoever this person or persons or people or ideas or concepts are, do that. And keep your eyes on the prize because you got a really nice thing that you're growing and fertilizing and creating here. So don't let the negative energy here, cause this to go out of whack. Okay? And that's it for this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great last week of February, and we'll be back next week with a brand new deck to show off for the month of March. All right? And a brand new little setup too. All right, take care. Be blessed.